name is Mark from jazzguitarlessons.net, and in today's lesson we're going to look into yet another way to solve one of the most typical issues for beginning and intermediate jazz players, which is how can I sound less inside when I solo, right? Remember that in the first TNTGI 2014 lesson, we discussed straightforward chromatic exercises to help you sound more out and jazzy. In this video, we'll address the same issue basically, but from a different perspective. That is, we'll use altered dominance in your soloing, and we will be trading 8 bars of solos, so please grab your instrument now. This is pretty much, take a chill pill type of lesson and we'll jam together, right? So specifically, what we're doing here is using some of those nice alterations on chords in order to yield more outside notes in your improv. For instance, we'll simply use a flat 9 of a dominant chord into a well-known scale, and then we'll slowly work our way through the entire diminished scale for altered dominant. The result will be a somewhat jazzier version of your own improvised lines. This is really fascinating both from a melodic and harmonic point of view, so I hope you're ready to rumble. Let's get going. Alright, first for a little back to basics, recall that the 2-5-1 progression in the key of C major, this is C major, is D minor 7 to G dominant 7 to C major. You can play it in any voicing, doesn't really matter, so long as you get the basic chord progression, right? For improvisation purposes, the simplest way to approach this is to play strictly within the C major scale, thus outlining what we could refer to the D Dorian mode, the G Mixolydian mode, and the C Ionian mode, or C major. All arpeggios and notes from this scale are available during your improvisation, so C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. In summary, this approach is a very generic one. It says play on C major for the whole duration of the 2-5-1 progression. So let's start varying on this very generic approach so we hear some nice altered notes on the G7, the 5 chord. So let's use the G Mixolydian scale as our starting point. So G, A, B, C, D, and F. Now let's change the A natural to an A flat. This is the scale we want to use for improvisation in this step. This is the first step. It gives us G7 flat 9 type of sound without too much of a headache, right? All we want to do in this first step, and in fact for the whole lesson, is to improvise and remember to use that A flat note during the G7 chord. You can use the A flat anywhere, even on the D minor 7 you could use it, but just make sure that you resolve your line to something nice, to something stable within the C major 7. For instance, if you resolve on the 5th of C, which is the G note, or you resolve on C itself, or on the 3rd of C, which is the E note. So let's try this together. Let's each play 8 bars on the 2-5-1 in the key of C major and see how it feels. You can download the backing track also to practice this on your own, but notice I'll keep my hand around here, so around fret 2 and 3, and the improvised lines will stick to something within the range of an octave approximately. Alright, so let's put the backing track on and have some fun here. 1, 2, my turn. Once more for me. Your turn. 3, 4. That's it. Good job. So that was it. That was easy, right? You add A flat to a G Mixolydian scale, not 2-bit out. But let's take it a little further in modifying G Mixolydian now. And you'll see why in a moment. We take the A natural note. We take it out completely. This is A natural, but add an A flat note and an A sharp note instead of that A flat. So this gives an 8-note scale, which is G, A flat, B flat. B flat is A sharp, right? So G, A flat, B flat, C, B, C, D, E, F. G, A flat, B flat, B, C, D, E, F. Now we have a G7 chord with a flat 9 and a sharp 9. The flat 9 is A flat, the sharp 9 is B flat or A sharp. Let's run through the same exercise, the same process. I improvise 8 bars, you improvise 8 bars, and see how it feels. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, my turn. turn. 3, 4. Your turn again. 4. Good job. That's it. Now on to step 3, where we tweak the G Mixolydian scale to the point where we get the half-whole diminished scale, which you might have already heard of. Here's the process. Take the scale from the previous step, what we had here, and use a C sharp instead of a C natural. So G, G, A flat, B, C sharp, D, E, and F. Notice that this is a symmetrical scale containing 8 notes, right? Like before, we'll just improvise on this in real time, see what comes out, and of course, if you're interested in this and you have questions and you wonder what can come out of it, you practice it on your own with a backing track. Let's get going. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your turn. Now. That's it. So for a quick review of the steps 1, 2, and 3 within this video, basically takes G Mixolydian with an A flat. Then take G Mixolydian without an A natural with an A sharp and an A flat. Then the last step is take the full diminished scale from G, starting with a half step. So of course you can see all of this in the PDF. Now let's jump to a little overview of the theory of the diminished scale. If you're interested into how we got there, here's the simplest method, the simplest route to get to the diminished chord, which is not what we've done in this video. Start with a G7 arpeggio. G, B, D, and F. Then start from the B note, the third, but go up to a flat 9. B, D, F, A flat. What I'm playing right now is a B diminished 7th arpeggio. B, D, F, and A flat. Then if we have a half step before each of those 4 notes, we have the scale. So this note approached by a half step. This guy by a half step. This one. So that's what it is, right? You get the scale by basically superimposing a B diminished 7 and a B flat diminished 7 arpeggio. What we get, the scale, the alterations contained in the scale, if you look at it from a G7 perspective, it's B flat, it's flat 9, sharp 11. Sharp 11 is also the flat 5, which is the same thing. The 13 is natural, so the sound we get is a G13 like this, with this note, or this note, and this note, right? So you get a staple of the jazz sound, really, that's what it is. Great, so let's wrap up this lesson. The first thing I wanted to discuss is the fingerings for the diminished scale. Obviously, I think you noticed the goal of this video, the ultimate goal is the diminished scale, and that's what we get to in the end, right? So the good fingerings are outlined in the PDF. What I like to do personally, if we are thinking of a G7, so I like to think of it here, with my third finger starting and having the index over that G, so third fret. But my favorite fingerings are outlined in the PDF, but they're just my own favorite. You can experiment outside of it. Last word of advice. I told you today was going to be take a chill pill, just jam with me, we'll try some stuff. What you should be practicing with this lesson is really resolving. It's all about tension and release. So aim for the principal 1, 3, 5, and 7 notes within the C major chord or within your 1 chord. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to vote if you like the lesson. I'm Mark from jazzguitarlessons.net. Improve your jazz guitar playing with a real teacher, and I'll see you in the next video lesson. Take care.